Robstar gang, what up? What up? Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Did not go live last night due to obviously being Halloween, so I just figured we're gonna do a live this morning. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Happy Saturday to everyone. Hope everyone had a good start to their, had a good week, good work week. But here we are. Here we are. I'm trying to pull up. Give me 1 second here. I'm having some difficulties. Give me 1 second here. For some reason, it's not letting me pull up my overlay. StreamYard wants to be difficult and not give me my overlay. Let's see if it'll let me do it this time. Wow. It's not letting me give you guys my overlay. Hold on 1 second. I might have to log out and log back in. Well, we're going to break this game down either way real quick this morning, since I didn't get to do it last night. So we're going to be talking about the Panthers versus, of course, those Green Bay Packers who look like an absolute Super Bowl team. So, yeah, we should, there we go. Got my overlay correct. There we go. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Hope everyone had a happy Halloween. Hope everyone had a happy Halloween. I surely hope you did. I enjoyed it. I just kicked back, relaxed. My neighbors were outside, handing out candy, stuff like that. And I was just chilling, man. I was just chilling, hanging out with them. And really just that's about it. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. Just watched some Halloween movies last night. Of course, my favorite Halloween movie, if we're going to be completely honest, is just Halloween. Michael Myers is my favorite character of Halloween. I just love his character, right? So that's just me though. That is just me. I like that. I'm a huge Halloween guy. Huge Halloween fan. So that's what I watched. I watched the Rob Zombie version, then I watched the original version, and then just kicked back, had a couple cocktails, and just relaxed. And I also handed out some candy, of course. Got to hand out the candy. So gave out some candy and just it was a good Friday evening. Couldn't ask for better. We had a good showing, so some good costume by the kids. You gotta love it. So anyways, Luke, what's going on, man? Shane H1, what's good? Good morning. Trizzy, what's good? Luke, what's good? Good morning to everyone. So good morning over here on TikTok. We're gonna be breaking down this Packers game. TikTok, if you could do me a favor, make sure you just tap my face, drop a follow. That's all I ask. Nothing crazy, nothing more. Just try to get to 10K over here on TikTok. We just reached 6,500. Shout out to you guys over here on the YouTube channel. 6,500 subscribers over here on the YouTube channel. So shout out to you guys. I appreciate you. I think we just reached 3,300 on TikTok. So I would love to reach 10,000 at some point on there. Bassmaster Nate, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through. All right, enough of the shenanigans, enough of the BS. Let's get into this game, ladies and gentlemen. Let's dive into it. I'm gonna give you offensive preview, defensive preview, give you keys to victory, give you my final verdict and why. Pixie Fi, name an NFL player for an edit. Can you do an edit for me? Can you send me an edit for Derek Brown? Send me an edit for Derek Brown. I would love to see that. All right, trying to share my screen with you guys. Give me a second here. Should be popping up, and we're gonna put this in presenter view, and here we go. There we go. All right, perfect. You guys got it up. Awesome. All right, let's get into the injury report. That's going to be the biggest thing right now. We're going to dive into is the injury report for the Panthers. So we are getting Bryce Young back. That is true. Okay. That is true. We are getting Bryce Young back this week after, sitting out that 40-9 loss, of course. He's ready to roll again against the Green Bay Packers. Now, Bryce Young did log three straight full practices at the moment. And no injury designation heading into Sunday's matchup against Green Bay, but simply put that barring anything unexpected, Bryce Young will be the starter. Okay. Obviously missed week 8 with an ankle injury. They said it was a high ankle sprain, but it must have been very low for him to be able to obviously be back so quickly. But again, his absence was glaring in this offense. We saw it last week, guys. We saw it last week. It was glaring. This offense looked flat, inconsistent. Honestly, it's honestly, it was kind of a loss without him, right? I mean, it was kind of expected. The best, I see you in here asking what's your thoughts on trading Chuba Hubbard. Listen, if the price is right, I would trade Chuba Hubbard. That's all I'm going to say. If the price is right, I would trade him. But again, right now, I don't see how you could trade a guy like that either. I see both sides of it. I don't see how you could trade Chuba with everything that's going on. The offensive line's basically running its like 7th, 8th, maybe 9th rotation in like the last 8 games, right? But I would say it would depend on if they're going to give me if they give me a 4th round pick and a day 3 pick the next year, plus they take on some of his salary, I'll make that trade. But if they're not going to do that, I'm not making the trade, because you don't want to trade Chuba Hubbard for, a bag of chips. You know what I mean? Like, he's a leader in the locker room. He's a guy that you just paid a major contract to. Right? He's expected to make, like, I think $6 million. I think he's guaranteed $6 million this year? And I think it's 6.5 the next. I'd have to go double check myself, but it's not. I mean, but the problem is trading him. If they're not willing to eat any of his salary, the problem is then you take a major dead cap hit, and then it's going to be harder for you to pay for other players to come here. So that's what I got to say about that. Kid 88, easy way to get off his steep contract. Yeah. As long as they take it, that's all that matters. All right. Back to the injury report, though. Obviously, Bryce Young's absence was glaring. He will be playing, though. But he's been full participant all week. And if his ankle holds up fine, he should be good to go. Why would they decide to put Corbett at center? Give me anyone else. They don't have anyone else. That's why. You don't have anybody else that can play center. You don't have anybody else that can play center, unfortunately. Brady Christensen was basically your third center. It was Cade Mays, Austin Corbett, and Brady Christensen that all were participating at center. So your best bet is at this point Austin Corbett. Obviously Andy Dalton, though, who stepped in the last week, broke his thumb. That's the big question mark with him. He's on the injury report for questionable, but I expect him to be the backup going into this game anyway, so he will probably be the starting backup. But the reason why we saw the poor play by Andy Dalton is, come to find out, broke his thumb early against Buffalo, but played through the whole thing anyways, which obviously explains why this offense sputtered even more as that game went on. Dalton was limited participant Thursday and Friday. All right. Sessions. He's officially listed as questionable for week 9. If he's active, he'll serve as the backup to Young. It's a tough break for the tough break for him, but I still expect him to dress out in Green Bay and be back up. Now, of course, the biggest losses, of course, as we all know, fortunately, will be center Cade Mays is out. Okay, starting center. He's officially out with an ankle injury and then a knee issue that kept him sidelined all week as well. So he has 2 injuries. So that's a big damn loss. They're kind of taking him day to day as right now. They officially rolled out rookie edge rusher Princely Mamiellan, who's still nursing an ankle injury. His absence means that we lose another athletic piece off the edge. That's not great news for a defense that's already struggling to generate constant pressure lately. Some other banged up players now. Again, Derrick Brown's on the list, but he's been full participant all week with this knee issue. He's good to go. Jimmy Horn Jr., shoulder, full all week, good to go. Xavier Legette, illness. He missed Thursday. Okay. He missed, but he was full Friday. So he's cleared for Sunday. There we go. Get him on out of here. Taylor Moton, limited the last 2 days. He's questionable. That's going to be the big one to watch, the starting right tackle. Damian Lewis full all week, but still questionable. It could be a game time decision for him. I think it's going to be the same thing for Taylor Moton. I think it's going to be a game time decision as well. Nick Scott progressed from limited to full. Questionable as of right now, but he's trending in the right direction. I know no one really cares about Nick Scott, but then you've got inside linebacker Tre'von Wallace, limited late in the week, questionable. I think he's going to be a game time decision. Chandler Zavala, full all week through though still questionable, likely a depth insurance guy. But they haven't activated him off the IR yet. So that's been the biggest issue. I think right now, your guys that are going to be game time decisions will be Damian Lewis, Taylor Moton, and Tre'von Wallace. I think those 3 guys will be game time decisions. All right. The big picture here, of course, though, is all signs are pointing to Bryce Young making his return. We're sitting at 4-4. This offense has to show some life, right? Getting Bryce Young back is a nice step, but losing guys like Cade Mays up front, possibly Taylor Moton, you don't know if Damian Lewis is going to play. So the biggest question mark was what is our protection going to look like on Sunday, right? This could be a serious issue heading against a Green Bay defense with guys like Micah Parsons, Quay Walker, Rashawn Gary, Edgerrin Cooper. They've got some mean ass outside linebackers and edge rushers. I think the biggest thing is, though, we're going to have to just protect Bryce at all costs, and hopefully he can make something out of nothing, make some magic happen. But we'll dive more into what I expect out of Bryce here shortly in this game. Again, I appreciate everyone in here. We already got 1,000 likes on TikTok. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate that. I've just been doing the TikTok lives a little like 2-3 times a week, so I appreciate you guys. Shout out to everyone on YouTube. Appreciate you being over here. Keep pounding, Josh P, Ken88. Keep pounding. What's up, Trizzy? I don't want to see any high snaps from Corbett like we did in the first 2 games. We'll see, man. We'll see if Corbett can get on the same page with your quarterback. That's going to be the biggest question mark, right? That's going to be the biggest question mark. Can Corbett get on the same page with Bryce Young? Because time and time again, we've seen it where they haven't been on the same page. We've seen it time and time again. They have not been on the same page. So I get what you're saying. Luke asked me, am I going live this Sunday? Yes, I'll be live this Sunday doing a live play-by-play. Okay. All right, so we're gonna do a live play-by-play this Sunday for sure. I'm a Panthers fan. I call them the Pink Panthers. Sick. I'm Freak Bob, 40-9. Did you come up with that all? Did you come up with that math all by yourself? I'm Freak Bob, or did you have to use ChatGPT? Like, tell me something I don't know, my guy. I watched the damn game. Poppin', what's good, man? Nader, we shock Packers tomorrow. Nader's calling it. Nader's calling it. He's calling the Packers a win. Interesting. Nicholas, we'll talk more about it. We're going to do an offensive preview. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream, though. Bryce Young, so what? Did want to talk about him coming back. Obviously, that's huge news. For this offense, at least. Like I said, you're heading into Lambeau Field this week. Okay. All right. This is just how I roll, man. See you later. The Carolina Panthers, again, we're heading into Lambeau. You come off an embarrassing loss, 40-9. This offense is desperate need of a reset, like a desperate need of a reset. They're missing we were missing Bryce. You roll out Andy Dalton. He gets injured with that thumb injury, right? Immediately in this game, right? So, and it wouldn't be too steep, right? You were hoping that the drop off between Bryce and him wouldn't be too steep, right? Yeah, Micah has been going crazy, Sean, for sure. On paper, it shouldn't have been. I don't think that the Bills game should have been a blowout. But again, Andy Dalton and Bryce Young, the drop off obviously was more steep than we realized. But again, do I have to give some context to Andy Dalton's thumb injury? I mean, he did injure it early in the game. So on paper, it shouldn't have been. But Dalton's experience as an experienced starter, but also experienced backup at this point, a guy who's seen it all, right? But against Buffalo, he just looked every bit of his age, man. Like you saw it, slow, rattled, completely out of sync. You could tell he didn't want to take hits. He was scared, right? Couldn't escape pressure, couldn't extend plays. His internal clock looked shot. The offense had zero juice, no rhythm, no confidence. No real shot to keep up. It was ugly football, plain and simple. Dave Canales was doing this, running back a committee approach that wasn't working with Rico Dowdle, right? And Chuba Hubbard. They kept trying to do that like it's Pop Warner. It ain't going to work, okay? What's up, SC Panthers boy? Appreciate you coming through. If we win, we'll shock the world, Kennedy. Going to Green Bay is a tough place to play. Absolutely. We always play tough against the Packers. We do. Not in Lambeau, though. We don't have the best record in Lambeau Field, by the way. I think we're like 2-6 all time. Like the Panthers are. So, but Bryce is returning. He's cleared to start Sunday per Dave Canales, as you can see here. According to Sleeper Panthers, he says that he gives us the best chance against the Packers unit, which is probably true. So again, I'm going to say this. It's huge that he's coming back, but Young's return doesn't magically just fix everything. It gives our offense at least a fighting chance to look competent again. I will say that. Randy S. Laporta. The bad news is guys, the guys are supposed to keep him upright. And the guys that are supposed to keep him upright are dropping like flies. And you know what I mean? Ohio versus Penn State. Is it Ohio State versus Penn State today? I didn't see that game preview yet. I've got game day on over here. Actually, I'll turn that up a little bit. If it's Ohio State versus Penn State, Ohio State easily. Penn State's a fucking shit mess right now. Ever since they lost Drew Allard and then fired Franklin, they're a mess. So, but I got it on over here. But again, Brady Christensen's done for the year after tearing his Achilles, and by far he seemed to be our best offensive lineman at that point, right? Cade Mays expect to miss Sunday, like we were talking about with that ankle and knee issues. You got Taylor Moton, who might give it a go, but right now he's questionable. I think he's a game time decision. So is Damian Lewis. And Taylor Moton hasn't practiced much this week. And even if he does play, he's clearly not 100%. Carter Erickson says Scatterboo needs to come back. He can't come back. His ankle was like 180, my guy. He's not coming back till like next year. Yeah, Michael Parsons is definitely licking his chops in this game. He's had Bryce's number. Even when he was at the Cowboys, he had Bryce's number. It's for sure. But this means that right side now combines of if these guys can't play, Rashawn Gary could have a good game. Absolutely. This means that right side of Austin Corbett, center, hasn't had the best connection with Bryce starting. Chandler Zavala taking right guard. Chandler Zavala has shown progress since the last time I saw him on the field. Again, he's injury prone, in my opinion. He has his ups and downs. But the last time I saw him on the field, he did show some promise. Josh Nijman actually played his best game the last time he stepped in for Taylor Moton. Okay? But again, you're going up against a total different defense in what the Green Bay Packers have, right? I mean, again, you're still rotating a different rotation on that offensive line. Once again. Okay? Once again, you're rotating your 7th, 8th, 9th, different rotation on the offensive line. To me, the offensive line does not inspire much confidence right now. And again, we're talking about an offensive line that finished top 10 last year. They brought this whole unit back, which they did. And again, we got to hope, again, it's the next man up mentality. You got to hope that this group can hold its own against a Green Bay's pass rush. And if you can't, this game's going to get ugly fast, right? Because the Packers are no joke. I'll say this. The Packers are no joke. You look at their rankings right now. So Packers are 8th in the league in sacks. Okay, they're 8th in the league in sacks. They've allowed the 3rd most points. Well, here's the thing. This is where it kind of gets tricky with them. They're 8th in the league in sacks, but the Packers have allowed 3rd most passing attempts to a quarterback. They've allowed the 2nd most completions to a quarterback. They've allowed 3rd most receiving targets to a running back. All right. They've allowed 3rd most receptions to a running back. They've allowed 4th most receiving touchdowns to a tight end. 2nd most receiving targets to a tight end. Most receptions to a tight end. And the Packers also allowed the 7th most receptions to the wide receivers. Here's the thing with Green Bay. They're good at stopping the run. They're very good at getting after the quarterback. What they're not good at is covering tight ends, running backs, and wide receivers in the pass game. Okay? But honestly, it doesn't matter. Because here's the thing. I've always been a big believer in this. You can have an elite edge rushing room, and you could have a sorry ass secondary. But if your edge rushing room is as good as it is, it will make any secondary look average or better than what it is. I've always been a big believer in that. An elite pass rush makes an average secondary look good. But this is a Packers team that can't cover the middle of the field. They can't cover wide receivers very well. They're allowing the most receptions. So that's something that Carolina has to think about and going into this game plan. Again, I'm going to give Green Bay the credit, though. All right. I'm going to give Green Bay their credit. I see Cam back there. Absolutely, man. I got him up there. He's up there. Absolutely. Got to put my guy up there. Got to put my guy up there, Edgar. Ranked top 10 in both offensive and defensive DVOA. That's that Green Bay. Again, their defense, Green Bay's defense is particularly has been nasty, right? They're a top 10 against both the run. Surprisingly enough, even though with these types of rankings right here, they're actually top 10 in the pass. They don't really have an obvious weakness anywhere. If you're going to beat them, you're going to have to beat them in the passing game, though, right? But we're on their home turf. They've been even better. They've held the Lions, the Commanders, the Bengals. Now, again, the Bengals had Joe Flacco, all under 20 points. So right now, we're a team that's currently ranked near the bottom in every major offensive category. So we're walking into a buzzsaw. On paper, we might be the weakest offense the Packers have faced at Lambeau this season, to be honest. That's not an exaggeration. That's just the reality of how bad things have gotten. I mean, yeah, we're 4-4. But if we want to even pretend that we can hang around in this one, we have to play above our pay grades. And that starts with a few things on this offense. And we'll talk about this offense. Appreciate everybody on TikTok. We've got over 2,000 likes already. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Thank you for all the follows, by the way. Everybody who's following, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys over here. Shout out to everybody on the YouTube channel. Let me get to some of you guys' comments here. Let's see here. Wesley Owens, what's your take on Dalton last week? I already talked about him. We're going to move on from Dalton, though. Okay, so my keys to this offense. If they shut down Rico, Bryce will have to win this game. Toss left. That's how you beat the Panthers. Toss left. That's how you beat the Panthers. They ain't faced. I'm running back like they haven't faced a running back like Rico. Ken 88's coming in saying, I love some of the confidence you guys got, man. Bring that confidence. I love it. I'm not gonna deny you of the confidence. All right, offensive preview. Let's dive into this offense real quick. First things first, this offense has to lean on Rico Dowdle. With the Panthers offense has been halfway decent this year, it's been because of Rico Dowdle. He's been your most consistent player on offense who's been making plays. His vision has been elite as of late. He's bringing the juice. The production speaks for itself. I mean, we're talking about a guy who's averaging 5.7 yards per carry. Okay. He's very physical runner, more physical than I realized. Very decisive as a runner, and he's just been flat out more effective than anyone else we've had in our backfield compared to Chuba Hubbard, right? Right? Like Chuba Hubbard's 3.6, you're averaging 3.6 yards per carry. So, and you got Rico Dowdle averaging, 5.7 yards per carry. So what, it's like he's broken off multiple runs of 15 plus yards, while Hubbard's longest carry is just, 14, right? We're talking about Dowdle, who's broken off 15 multiple plus yardage runs, whereas you've had Chuba Hubbard break off only 14. It's just night and day right now. And it's no shot. Again, I've said it before. This is no shot. This is no shot at Chuba Hubbard. It's just that right now, there's just a hotter hand, man. And that's what you got to ride with. That's what you got to ride with. You got to ride with the hot hand. YouTube, we got some slackers, man. There's like 8 people that haven't liked the live stream. Let's go. Appreciate you guys over there. Hey, Mike Wynn. Yes, I will be streaming tomorrow. I'll be doing a live play-by-play for the Green Bay game. So, no problem. Yes, I will definitely be streaming tomorrow. All right. All right. I'll definitely be streaming tomorrow. Should we rest Bryce? If he's full, here's the thing. He's been, from the videos I'm seeing, he looks fine. You can make the case as to why we should rest him, but you could also make the case why he needs to start. But I'm going to talk about him right now. I think the next thing that this offense has to do is you got to stay patient in the pass game. Like, this is going to be a major test, okay, for Bryce Young's maturity and his patience. Like, the Packers are they're only allowing 8 yards per completion. So that's the lowest in the entire league, right? And nobody's even close to them right now. That's a full yard better than the next best team, which is the same gap between second and worst defense and the league average, to be honest with you. So Green Bay is going to make you earn every damn down. That's what they're going to do. Lomax, what's up? Appreciate you joining, my guy. So Young's never been the type to really sling it deep 40 yards downfield. Every other play, that's probably a good thing this week. The short to intermediate game is going to be his bread and butter in this game. I'll be honest with you. Check downs to the backs, probably some quick outs. I also wrote down some notes. I would also probably say that he needs to play a lot of quick game in this. And if a lot of people you don't know what that is it's easy. Just some hitch routes, some fades, some slants. You got to run the quick game in this game, especially with your offensive line. Quick game, you have a lot of reads, right? It's clean, easy completions, half field reads, stuff like that. Crossers to keep the chains moving. Just, it might not wow anybody, okay? I get that. But that's the only realistic path for this offense to stay in this one, I think. Take what the defense give you, stay efficient, right? Don't try to force any hero throws into some tight windows. That's what I'm getting at with that. So stay patient in the passing game is a must. Is a must. Good Lord. Clay, did you hear what the coach for the Packers said when they asked him about Halloween? I did not, Kennedy. I did not. What did he say? The coach from the Packers said, I got a game to win. I ain't worried about Halloween. While our coach Canales was talking about what him and his family was wearing. I mean, I don't know how to respond to that. But it is what it is. It is what it is, man. But he can throw shots, I guess, the way he wants to throw shots. Whatever. All right, my next thing for this offense, you're going to have to hit 28 points to win this game. Here's a weird stat for you. The reason why I say 28 points. The Packers have scored exactly 27 points in all 3 of their home games this season. If that trend holds, then yeah, you guessed it, 28 points should be enough to win this game. I know that sounds simple, but except for one small problem. This offense has only scored 28 points once all year. So the message is clear. This offense has to find a way to punch above its weight. Whether you got some trick plays up your sleeve, the defense scores, Bryce Young plays like prime Drew Brees. I can't expect to win this game with another 17-point effort. They've got to take some shots. You've got to find rhythm. You've got to finish drives in the red zone. That's what it's going to take. The bottom line is we're going into Lambeau with Bryce Young back at the helm. You got a banged up offensive line. You've got a mountain to climb against one of the NFL's most balanced teams. It's easy to look at these matchups and assume a beatdown's coming, and maybe it is because Bryce can't stay composed. If Dowdle can carry the load, and Bryce Young stays composed, the offensive line can hold itself together long enough to give them fighting chance. Then maybe Carolina can make it interesting. I just think it's a tall order to ask. This team. So we'll see. Between YouTube, Twitch, X, we've got over 132 people watching. Appreciate everybody who's watching on each and every one of those channels. So over 132 of you watching between those three. Appreciate you guys. We've got 7-8 people over here on the TikTok. Appreciate you guys coming through. Let me see what this comment section saying over here on the YouTube channel. Clay, what did you wear? Oh, I didn't wear anything for Halloween last night. I just chilled. I just chilled, man. No, I just handed out candy, had a few cocktails in the front driveway, had some Halloween music on, like I said, had a few cocktails, just relaxed. Had some neighbors over. That was about it. So, nothing crazy, Roy. Nothing crazy. Watched some Halloween movies last night. That was about it. Called it a day. All right, let's get into this defense. So this is let's just call it what it is. Let's just start with this but we're going to talk about this defense, and then I'll get into my keys to victory, and we'll get into the final preview. Let's just call it what it is, man. This Panthers defense got absolutely mollywopped for 245 rushing yards against Buffalo last week and 4 touchdowns. The offense, the offense's 3 turnovers didn't exactly make life easy either. So the floodgates just opened way too fast against, Buffalo. But it was 6-3, I think, at that point after Ryan Fitzgerald hit that field goal, and then boom, everything just collapsed, right? And now you have like I said, you got a banged up offensive line, Bryce Young coming off an injury, a shorthanded roster, and once again, wait, I'm confused. Who's starting at quarterback? Bryce is. Once again, going to fall on the defense. You got to keep this team afloat. If we want any shot at stealing one in Lambeau, this defense needs to punch its weight and probably play its best game of the year. Okay. We could send an upset this weekend. K Fizzle. I hope so. So the first thing is this team has to limit the run game. You got to limit the damn run game. Okay. Last week, Buffalo ran wild. It wasn't just bad. It was demoralizing. You saw missed tackles. You saw blown gaps. There was no resistance up front. The Panthers looked like they were trying to stop a snowplow with pool noodles. Let's just be honest. That's what it looked like. All right. That's what it looked like. So the good news is The Packers' run game isn't nearly as efficient. They rank 16th in rushing yards per game, even though they run the ball nearly 48% of the time. That's according to these stats. That's the fourth highest rate in the NFL. And so, in other words, they commit to the run but aren't exactly, killing teams with it. They're averaging like 3.9 yards per carry right now, which ranks 24th in the league, which is not great. The key difference is just how they use it. Green Bay does lean on Josh Jacobs, who's responsible for all 9 of their rushing touchdowns this season. He's got 9 rushing touchdowns this season. So, I think Josh Jacobs is one of the most underrated running backs, and this could be a game where he could feast if this defense doesn't step up. But I mean, this front that we've got, Derek Brown, Ashawn Robinson, Bobby Brown III, Turk Wharton. I feel like I'm missing somebody though. Who am I missing right now? Did I miss somebody on the front 7 besides them? The big defensive tackles. Did I miss anybody there? I feel like I'm missing a name. Who am I missing? I'm definitely missing a name. Good Lord. And I'm having a brain fart of who it is. I guess not. Maybe not. I guess I wasn't. So, yeah. Turk Wharton, Ashawn Robinson, Derek Brown, Bobby Brown III. Those guys are going to have to they're going to have to step up in this game. They're going to have to control the damn line of scrimmage. You got a healthy enough rotation there. So there's no injuries there, especially inside the red zone. You got to force Jordan Love to beat you through the air. That's what you got to do. If Jacobs gets rolling downhill early, this one could turn into another long Sunday real quick if Josh Jacobs is eating. We've seen that already. We saw it against the Bills. All right, we already saw that. All right. So, again, we've got to see these defensive tackles step up. Guys, on YouTube, if we get the live stream over 100 likes, I'll do a major giveaway. So, if you're on the YouTube channel, I already owe you guys, I think, 3 or 4, which I told y'all I'm going to do a major giveaway at the bye week. All right. So I'm already owe you a hat giveaway. I'm probably going to do a jersey giveaway. I'm probably going to do a ticket giveaway. And if we get up to this one, if we get this live stream over 100 likes on the YouTube, I'll do another giveaway. We'll go with that. We'll go with like a shirt giveaway or something. You're already down 4 giveaways. That's what it is. So I'll give you 5. If we get it to likes, I'll do 5 giveaways at the bye week. Seriously, that's what I'm going to do. All the giveaways are going to be at the bye week. Actually, we might do one next week. We might do 2 next week, actually. Maybe. I don't know yet. We do. Mike wins right. It's actually 4. And then, hey, I'll announce the giveaway. I already owe you a hat one. We'll do a jersey one. We'll do a ticket one. And then since I already owe you 4, we'll do maybe like a shirt or something. Or maybe I'll do like an Amazon gift card or like an NFL shop gift card or something. Sometimes gift cards are easier for you guys, but I've done the jersey before. Number 18. No, definitely not 18 giveaways. Definitely not 18. But again, this defensive line is going to have to control the damn line of scrimmage, especially inside the red zone. You're going to have to force Jordan Love to beat you through the air. If Jacobs gets rolling downhill early, I just see this one turning like the Buffalo Bills game, right? The defensive script here is simple. Play discipline, stay in your lanes, and hit whoever has the damn ball. All right? Make the tackle. Okay? I put on here an injured pass rush. Okay? Let's be real about this real quick, about Carolina's pass rush. It has been hanging on by duct tape and caffeine at this point. Basically like me every single day when I get up for work. caffeine, and some Zimbabwe's. Okay. But again, we did manage 2 sacks against the Bills, which ain't great, but it does technically count for progress for this team because they haven't really been getting pressure after the quarterback much. Right? Princely Mamielin, who's officially out. Tre'von Wallace, I think it's going to be a game time decision. All right. But neither one of those guys, but see, the Tre'von Wallace, even if he suits up, he's not even going to be close to 100%. And, I hate to keep bringing this up, man, but you got Brian Burns, who's looking like an absolute stud over there in New York, and now he's long gone. We've been searching for a consistent edge rusher. This group has been looking thinner by the week. And your front office, all it did was went out and signed Trevis Gibson off the 49ers practice squad, who's been a journeyman at best, who hasn't made much of an impact since like 2022. So that move just says it all for me. And we're basically trying to build, a pass rush out of spare parts right now. Like, it's really not ideal against Jordan Love, who's quietly putting together a solid season and no shortage of weapons. Giving him too much time, again, he's going to find somebody, and he's probably going to make you pay for it. So if you want to survive, you have to manufacture some pass rush. Blitz from some weird angles, disguise some coverage, throw some stunts, just anything at your over. Do something, because if Love is sitting back there with a clean pocket all game, it is over. It is over. It is over. Rock Jones, how bad is Ole Miss beating South Carolina today? Probably the way the Bills beat us. I'd say 40-9. South Carolina is trash. The offensive line, they're going through the issues that we're going through with that offensive line. It's a turnstile over there, man. And Lenore Sellers doesn't have time to throw. Wide receivers can't get open. Your best player can't do anything. He can't even elevate the players around him because he has no time to. So, Rock, I'm going to say 40-9. Unless somehow Carolina pulls the upset, which I doubt they will. South Carolina, that is. Ole Miss is on a different level right now. I mean, we almost beat Bama. Should have beat Bama, but that's a whole different conversation for another day. T Green, what's good, man? All right, next thing on the defense, you got to survive the passing game however you can. Here, because this is where things get tricky with Green Bay, right? Green Bay's passing attack doesn't have one like clear alpha, but they're so deep in balance. It's very unpredictable, right? Their leading receiver right now is Tucker Kraft mac and cheese, right? The tight end. That's already a huge red flag, considering that the Panthers have historically struggled this year covering tight ends. Though, to their credit, they've been a bit better over the last 2 weeks. But still, Kraft's size, physicality over the middle, that's going to be a huge test for this linebacking room and safeties big time. Then you got to think about Romeo Doubs, right? Romeo Doubs, who's been Mr. Reliable for Jordan Love. Between Kraft and Doubs, they've combined for 10 touchdowns this season. And that's not counting that. It's not counting what guys like Marcus Golden, Datavion Wicks, and Christian Watson will be able to bring to the table. Right? That's a lot of mouths to feed. And Love isn't afraid to spread that ball around. We've seen that. So our secondary has quietly been one of actually the few semi-bright spots on this team. It's going to need to communicate perfectly. No busted coverages, no misreads, no bad moments type of ordeal. JC Horn, Mike Jack, right? Nick Scott, Tre'von Moehrig. All right. They have to hold up in space and tackle cleanly because Green Bay's receivers feast on yards after the catch. All right. It's true. Brandon, I would start. Who's the 49ers playing? And then who's LA playing? LA's playing. The Chargers are playing. Brandon, the Chargers are playing Tennessee. And who the Niners playing? I can't remember who the Niners are playing. Brandon, I would probably say Gatson then because they are playing. You could go either one. I might take Gatson over against that matchup in Tennessee, though. Brett, I would probably take Gatson, and I know that sounds like crazy maybe for George Kittle, but I would take Gatson. I like that matchup better. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're playing the Titans. I would take him. But the biggest challenge is the Packers route diversity, man. They use a lot of motion and layered concepts and misdirection to open up space. But if Carolina's linebackers get sucked up into play action, which they probably will, that's how they hit their big plays. So again, this defense has got some things to do. Stop the run, create some pressure, keep everything in front of you. Keep everything in front of you. Let's see here. T Green comes in and says 31-28 Panthers. Love the optimism, man. I love the optimism from you guys. I really do. I really do. I really do. Panthers going to the ball. Elliott Turd. That's an interesting last name, by the way. I hope we do, but I don't see that being the case. If I'm being a realistic fan here. No, it's a choice. No, it's a choice last name. Okay. Respect on the turds. That's awesome. That is awesome. 34-17 Palmetto Panthers coming in saying that. Palmetto Panther, you're normally Mr. Realistic, man. You're coming in here at 34-17. Trizzy, do you think that we may see Damani Richardson play this week? I'd like to see a rotation, honestly, but I doubt it. We haven't seen him in barely in 8 games already, so I would say I doubt it. Is there any word on Taylor Moton playing? Ken 88, as of right now, he's questionable. I think it's a game time decision for him. Elliot, who's your favorite player currently right now? As for a Panthers fan standpoint, my favorite player right now from a Panthers fan standpoint is Tedero McMillan, T-Mac. Timo might play. I think it's a game time decision. All right, so here are my keys to victory, man. We broke it all down offensively, defensively. I gave you both a preview here. Yeah, I know that's a long list of keys to victory, but you're playing the Green Bay Packers. I've got 7 things. Protect Bryce Young is number 1. Why is that? You're going to have to run some max protections looks early. Move the pocket, get Young rolling out, simple reads, let him work fast. You don't need hero ball. You need him to have some clean possessions and time to breathe. Again, number 2, lean on Rico Dowdle, pound the rock, control time of possession, let Dowdle set the tone, keep Jordan Love sitting on the damn sideline. Okay? Hold on, I'm responding to something. That's why I paused for a second. Sorry, hold on 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I was responding to something. All right, so then we've got I said stay patient, play smart, small ball. Treat every first down like gold, man. Stay ahead of schedule. If you're in third and long and all day, you're already cooked. All right. Next up, stop the run. You got to plug the middle. You got to make first contact. You got to force Jordan Love to beat you through the air. Derek Brown, Ashawn Robinson, Turk Wharton, Bobby Brown III. You got to own the trenches, especially in the red zone. So no more soft fronts. No more missed tackles. All right. Next up, put the pressure on Love. Disguise pressure. Keep Love uncomfortable. Force at least 2 turnovers. All right. That's likely the only way Carolina can hang around late. Then protect over the middle of the field. This secondary's got to communicate better. You got to keep everything in front of you. If there's a bust in coverage, Love's going to find it, and you just can't allow that. Last but not least, don't let it snowball. So don't panic. Limit the damage. Play with some damn composure. Plain and simple. All right? Plain and simple. So I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you guys pound that like button, hit that subscribe button over here on the YouTube channel. I appreciate everybody. All right. Guys, we're trying to get this live stream to 100 likes. Remember that 100 likes equals a major giveaway. Okay. Secret Sab Trader CK, start DJ Moore or Quentin Johnson. Quentin Johnson had a major goose egg, but he is going up against Tennessee. I would probably say start Quentin Johnson. That's just me. Should I start Keenan Allen or Stephon Diggs? Keenan Allen. Just look at the matchup, guys. You're going up against the LA is going against the Tennessee. Should we trade Chuba? Again, the only way I'm trading Chuba is unless the price is right, man. Unless the price is right. It would have to be a 4th round pick this year, another day 3 pick the next, and then they would have to eat his salary for me to trade him. Because if Carolina trades him, they still have to eat his whole contract, and that puts some major dead money cap on us, which is going to make us harder to pay for it. Yeah, this ain't college, right? Yeah, this ain't college, that's for sure. Any given Sunday is true, but you still have to show up and buckle that chin strap. Absolutely. I know ball, of course, but still not going against the grain. That would be dumb. NFL is scripted and rigged. Green comes in and says, "Oh, this kid's got $1 million kick over here on ESPN." Oh my God. $1 million kick over here. That's wild. I live in a household full of Packers fans, and I'm a Panthers fan. Good luck to you, Jackson. Good luck to you. All right, my final score prediction. You guys might not like it. It is what it is. Oh, well, I put Buffalo. Why did I put Buffalo? I don't know why. Why did I put Buff? Why did I not put Green Bay? Oh my God. You know what? This is why we can't have nice things. But we can edit it real quick. Look at this. Boom. Look at that. There we go. There you go. We can edit it real quick. There you go. Sorry. I've got the Panthers losing this game, guys. I would be honest with you. Okay. I just think here's the thing. I think that we will show flashes in this game. Okay. I think this is here's the thing. Let me break it down to you real quick. Why I think this team, Carolina's going to lose. First off, you're heading into Lambeau Field with Bryce returning after an injury, who I think will give this offense a much needed boost that did look lifeless in Buffalo with Andy Dalton. While I think Young's returns will add some spark, his leadership, you're walking into a very tough situation. Your offensive line is banged up. You're missing key starters like Cade Mays, Austin Corbett. Your right tackle isn't 100% in Taylor Moton. Your left guard and Damian Lewis is also questionable. And then on top of that, Chandler Zavala stepping in at right guard. And then you got Austin Corbett stepping in at center. That is a serious problem going into Green Bay, who has a front that ranks near the top of the league in both sacks and pressure rates. I'm just being realistic with you. Now, on the offensive side of things, yeah, I expect Carolina to lean on Rico Dowdle, who has been quietly been one of the most efficient backs in the NFL, 5.7 yards per carry. We talked about that earlier. But if the Panthers can get him going early and they control the tempo of this game, they protect Bryce Young from constant pressure, you sustain drives, well, that's what's going to be key in this game, right? The Packers defense has only allowed just 18.5 yards per game at home this year, and they rarely give up explosive plays, man. And then I was talking about the defensive side of ball of things. The Panthers have to sell out on stopping Josh Jacobs, and you got to force Jordan Love to win through the air. That's the problem. Is Carolina's run defense just got gashed for over 240 yards against Buffalo, and you're playing without Princely Emmanuel in this game. You're starting Tre'von Wallace is questionable, which he's probably going to be a game time decision. If they can contain Jacobs early, it could be another long day for Giro Evero's group. If you can't do it, it's going to be a long day. The X factor in this game, though, is Bryce Young's pocket presence. If he can extend plays, avoid costly turnovers, Carolina can keep this one very respectable. But if protection breaks down, it will likely be a bad day for Bryce Young and Micah Parsons, Rashawn Gary, Quay Walker. Those guys will feast. I just think right now in this game with Bryce Young coming back, I think that this team will show flashes with him back. But I just think Green Bay right now is a way more balanced, has more depth, and will win this game. I think that the Packers will pull away late from this game. And I think it'll be 28-16. And I'm just being realistic. You want likes, Clay. Say the Panthers will win. No. Listen, you can like me or you don't like me. You know what I mean, Roy? Like, I'm not here for clicks and all that. I'm just being realistic, man. You either I don't come on here and just say, well, the Panthers going to win every game. You know, that's just not me. We got to be realistic with ourselves, man. We do. We've got to be realistic with ourselves. I'm not, and I'm just being honest. And I'm not, listen, I want this team to win. Do I think that Carolina has a chance to win this game? Yeah, I do. But again, it's going to come down to a lot of major factors for them to do so. I appreciate that, Ken 88. I appreciate that. Josh, you might be right. It probably will be. Nolan Falcon. So do Javonte and Rice. Okay, so you're talking about Javonte Williams, Rashee Rice. Yeah, that's what you have. 4, Bijan, Marv, and DK. So what are you getting, Nolan? Are you getting Bijan, Marv, and DK? Do you think we should trade Mike Jackson? I don't know what you're going to get for him. That's the thing. I don't know what you're going to get for him. What's his value? Nolan, if you're getting Bijan, Marvin, DK, that's a hell of a trade, Nolan. And if that person does that, they're retarded. Sorry. that's a hell of a trade. That's one hell of a trade if you're able to get Bijan. Because Bijan's only going to have one bad game. He already said yes. Oh my God. Nolan, you got to steal, my friend. You got to steal. Pick one. Pickens, BTJ, or Debo. Cowboys are playing the Cardinals. Jaguars. Who are the Jaguars playing? Who are the Jaguars playing? Debo's playing the Commanders. Who are the Commanders playing? I gotta go look at the schedule. Worthy or Allen? If you're talking about Keenan Allen, I'd take Keenan Allen. Sutton or Worthy? I would start Sutton. Mike Jones. Max, you said the Raiders? Is that who beat? Then I would take BTJ then. If the Jaguars are playing the Raiders, I just forgot the schedule. I would start Brian Thomas Jr. Brian Thomas Jr. solo. Look at the matchup, guys. When you're asking your fantasy questions, look at the teams that they're going up against. That tells you all you need to know. Yeah, I'm I would not put I would play Brian Thomas Jr. against the Raiders. I like that matchup better than Debo against the Seahawks. Trevin, you still think that we can make the playoffs? It's very possible. I think this is the thing. Carolina, to make the playoffs, they're going to have to win 2 of these games in this next stretch of games that they're not supposed to. So, like, they would need to beat a team like Green Bay, San Francisco, and the Rams. You need to win 2 of those, I think, to have a chance to make the playoffs. Just 2 of them. Buffalo was another one. So really, you need to basically those 4 games right there. You already 0-1 in those 4 games against the Bills, but then you still got the Packers, the Niners, and of course the Rams. Of course, you got in that stretch too, though. You got the Saints. You got to play them twice. You got to play the Falcons at the Falcons in Atlanta. And then you also got to think about down the stretch. You got to play Tampa twice, and you got the Seahawks in the middle of that. I do think, though, you split with Atlanta. I think you got to beat the Saints twice, and then you got to win 2 of those games, like I said, that you're not supposed to, like the Niners, the Rams, or the Green Bay game. If you want to make the playoffs. Need to sweep the Saints for sure. You have to sweep the Saints. You sweep the Saints, you got 6 wins there. Then if you win 2 of the games that you're not supposed to, like the 49ers or the Rams, and of course this Green Bay game, you win 2 of those, that's 8 games. You already got 8 games. You won 8. What would be the icing on the cake is you go out there, you beat you split with the Bucks, you lose to the Seattle, and you split with Atlanta, and then you've got 9 wins on your schedule. But again, that's a tall task to ask for a team that, I mean, do we really think that they're a playoff team right now? What I'm interested to see is if this, here's the thing. This will tell me if this front office truly believes that this team can be a playoff contender, is if they go out there at this trade deadline and they make some moves. If they truly believe, if this front office truly believes that the Carolina Panthers can make the playoffs, they will make some moves at the trade deadline. Moves to benefit this team. Hold on 1 second, TikTok. So yeah. But that is your Week 9 preview for the Packers and Panthers. Again, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, okay? We want to get to 100 likes every live stream, guys. Want to get to live stream, okay? All right, so I appreciate everyone joining. Hope you guys enjoyed today's show. Again, college football is about to start here in the next 45 minutes, so go watch some of that. I will be live tomorrow, okay? So don't worry. I will be live tomorrow for the live play-by-play for the Carolina Panthers versus the Green Bay Packers, okay? So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow. All right, live. We'll be here. All right, I will see y'all. Enjoy your Saturday, and I will see y'all tomorrow. As always, y'all know what to do. Keep pounding. I'm out of here. Peace.